You've been insulted, ignored, provoked, your heart races, your fists clench, and in that split second, you stand at a crossroads. React and hand over your power, or respond and reclaim it. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Imagine being unshakable, no matter what life throws at you. That's not a fantasy, it's a skill. And the Stoics mastered it. In today's world, we are constantly reacting. Someone disagrees with us, rage. Someone disrespects us, defensiveness. We feel overlooked, resentment. And every time we let the outside world control our inner peace. But what if I told you that you could train your mind to be unmoved, that you could choose clarity over chaos every single time? The Stoics weren't emotionless, they were masters of emotion. They developed a response system, a mental framework, to handle life's chaos with wisdom, not impulse. In this video, I'll walk you through the Stoic Response System, a practical, proven way to become calm under pressure, clear under fire, and unshakable in a reactive world. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to stop reacting and start living with intentional, Stoic strength. The Stoic Framework for Emotional Mastery. The Stoics believed that our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from how we interpret them. One of the most powerful ideas comes from Epictetus, who said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Think about that. It's not the insult, it's your judgment of the insult. It's not the traffic, it's the story you tell yourself about what it means. The Stoics understood that between what happens and how we respond, there is a sacred space, and that space is where our power lies. Here's the Stoic formula for mastering your emotions: perception, judgment, reaction. We don't react directly to the world, we react to our judgment of what's happening. That means if we can train the mind to pause and reframe, we can choose our reactions rather than be ruled by them. This leads us to the Stoic Response System, a 3-step mental process you can start using immediately when you feel triggered or overwhelmed. Step 1. Pause. When something upsets you, stop, even for just a breath. The pause is what breaks the automatic cycle of reactivity. It opens the door to reason. Step 2. Reframe. Ask yourself, is this event really as bad as it seems? What else could this mean? Most importantly, is this up to me? The Stoics always return to this question. If it's out of your control, it's not worth your peace. Step 3. Respond. Now, from a place of clarity, not emotion, you respond. You choose a course of action that aligns with your values, not your impulses. That's true strength. Pause, reframe, respond. Simple, powerful, life-changing. The next time you feel triggered, mentally ask, is this up to me? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, choose wisely. This one question can stop 90% of your emotional spirals before they even start. Real-life Stoic examples of non-reactivity. Let's begin with Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, philosopher king, and a man constantly surrounded by betrayal. His most trusted generals conspired against him. Senators questioned his every move, and even his own son Commodus would later undo much of what he built. But in his private writings, what we now call meditations, Marcus never curses his enemies. He never explodes in rage. Instead, he writes, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." He chose principle over impulse, reflection over retaliation. That's what made him powerful. Then there's Seneca, philosopher, playwright, advisor to Emperor Nero. Accused of conspiracy, he was sentenced to death. But instead of pleading or panicking, he calmly accepted his fate. He used his last moments to comfort others and to prove that even death itself didn't have to provoke fear. To the Stoic, the ultimate test of strength wasn't domination, it was composure under pressure. Now zoom forward to today. The settings have changed, but the principles haven't. Picture the leader whose company is crumbling during a PR disaster. Everyone around them is panicking, but they speak calmly, make clear decisions, and steady the ship. That's Stoicism in action. Or maybe it's more personal, the friend who doesn't text you back, the stranger who cuts you off in traffic, the colleague who takes credit for your work. In those moments, most people react. They rage, rant, or retreat. But the Stoic? They pause, they reflect, and they choose strength in stillness. You don't need a crown, a courtroom, or a crisis to practice Stoicism. You just need a moment of clarity and the will to meet life with wisdom, not reaction. How reactivity damages you. Let's be honest, reactivity feels powerful at the moment, but what it leaves behind is usually wreckage, broken relationships, lost trust, words we wish we could take back. And after the heat fades, what are we left with? Regret and exhaustion. Here's what's happening inside your mind. When you're triggered, your amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm system, lights up. It screams, attack, defend, escape. But your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic, reason, and long-term thinking, goes dim. In other words, your wise mind gets hijacked by your ancient fear response. The Stoics didn't have MRI machines, but they understood this centuries ago. That's why they practiced pausing before reacting. Because they knew, every response is a choice, and every choice shapes the kind of person you become. Just like building muscle, training the mind takes daily effort. The Stoics treated their thoughts like weights. Repetition creates resilience. Practice builds power. And over time, that space between stimulus and response becomes a fortress. Here's a simple trick you can use today. The next time you feel yourself getting angry, frustrated, or offended, pause for just 3 seconds. In that moment, ask yourself, what would a wise person do? That tiny pause is your shield. And with practice, it becomes a habit, one that protects your peace, your relationships, and your future self. Daily practices to become unreactive. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a daily discipline. If you want to become unreactive, you have to train for it. Just like you would train your body in the gym, the mind needs deliberate, consistent conditioning. 1. Morning reflection. Premeditation malorum. Each morning, the Stoics would imagine what could go wrong, not out of pessimism, but preparation. Today I may be insulted, ignored, challenged. This mental rehearsal, called premeditation malorum, trains the mind to meet adversity with calm readiness, not surprise. 2. Evening journaling. Reflect, don't regret. At night, they would reflect. What did I react to today? Why? This isn't about guilt, it's about growth. Each reaction becomes data, and with awareness comes power. 3. Negative visualization. Build inner anti-fragility. Once a day, visualize a minor setback. Imagine how you'll respond, not react. It's like mental armor. The more you rehearse it, the less it hurts when it happens. 4. The view from above. Shift perspective. When you're triggered, try the Stoics' view from above. Imagine zooming out, seeing yourself, then your city, your country, your place in time. Suddenly, that rude comment, that traffic jam, it shrinks into insignificance. 5. Voluntary discomfort. Build mental grit. Practice small discomforts. Cold showers, skipping a meal, going without your phone. These voluntary hardships build tolerance to life's involuntary ones. When you choose discomfort, you train your nervous system to stay calm when life gets rough. Here's your challenge. Pick just one of these practices today. Do it for 7 days and track how often you react versus how often you respond. You'll be surprised. The power is already inside you. You just have to train it. The power of choosing your response. Here's the truth the Stoics lived by. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond. Every situation, every insult, delay, disappointment is training. Life isn't punishing you, it's forging you. And every moment of stillness in the face of chaos, that's another brick in your inner fortress. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Viktor Frankl. Frankl survived the horrors of a concentration camp, yet still found freedom within. That's the highest level of Stoicism, not detachment from life, but mastery within it. Reactivity chains you to circumstance, but response, that's freedom. Every time you choose not to lash out, not to spiral, not to cling to anger, you reclaim power. You move one step closer to becoming unshakable. Right now, write down one thing that gets under your skin, a specific trigger. Maybe it's being ignored, criticized, interrupted. Now commit. The next time it happens, you'll pause, breathe. Ask, is this up to me? What would a wise person do? And respond, not react. This is where change begins, not with grand gestures, but small acts of control repeated over time. So remember, when life throws its punches, the Stoic Response System gives you your shield. Pause, reframe, respond. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being in control. Start small, pick one trigger, begin your 7-day challenge, journal each night, track the gap between reaction and response, and watch your inner power grow. And here's something we can do together. What's one trigger you're going to face with Stoic calm this week? Drop it in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. Share your wisdom. Let's build a community of strength. If this video helped you build even a little more calm in the chaos, like it, subscribe, and join our tribe of Stoic warriors. This is a place for people who want to think deeper, live stronger, and respond wiser.